Welcome Capricorn to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 10th of June for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. On the screen now is the event chart right at the start of the week, and we need to be mindful of your ruler Saturn. Saturn late last week clashed with Venus. When that happens, that can create some tension or coldness around relationships. But also Venus can be about money. And so it may have been around a financial matter that you've just been seeing in a bit of a cooler light. But the sixth house, where Venus is also about our relationships with colleagues. And maybe is that some dialogue that they developed at the end of last week just got a little bit edgier. As we go into this new week, it's the Sun's turn to be in an exact square with Saturn. Sixth, third house energy can tempt us to be almost a bit too virtuous, because the collective in Gemini is encouraging you in some ways to reform, to simplify, to make the overall life structures that you have more efficient. Saturn in your third house is the way you're thinking about it, but also talking about it. But they're competing energies. So it's going to be important not to be too impatient at the start of this week. There may be some tension around relationships with colleagues, or you may see your glass as being somewhat half empty. The great news is that when last week came to a close, Mars, the planet of passion, moved into your sister Earth sign of Taurus. Over the next 6 weeks, this is going to give you a glorious opportunity to be more demonstrative, more self-assured, but also to feel much more alluring. It does forge an immediate square with Pluto in your second house of everyday money. If you don't feel that you're getting the appreciation and recognition for the hard work and application you're putting in, there could be a sense of intense frustration at the start of this week, and you may want to articulate that. But also the other thing that can come from a second, fifth house energy that's highly charged is an impulsiveness to do something perhaps romantically, the fifth house of Mars. The second house is to appreciate some kind of sensual pleasure. But I wouldn't rush anything at the start of this week, to be honest. Going through the processes, accepting some of the obligations you have, making sure that you're simplifying things, is going to be a good thing to pursue. Because of the energy of Saturn, and then later in the week of Neptune in the sign of Pisces, it may seem that things get muddled or a bit tense or a bit brittle. But keep going with those processes. There is going to be a quarter moon on Friday, which gets caught up in the Mercury cazimi. That quarter moon is in your sister Earth sign of Virgo. Here, this is your ninth house energy, where you want to escape and be more adventurous. But once more, that pack of energy in Gemini is asking you to be conscientious. So I feel that whether it's the way things are discussed, or the way you think about things, or if you feel that people are putting too much on you, expecting too much from you, all of those things can be part and parcel of this week's energy. But the big news is that once Mars escapes that right angle to Pluto, which it will start to do by the end of this week, it's going to give you a glorious opportunity over the next 6 weeks to enjoy life a lot more. And once Venus and Mercury move on the 17th of June into your sector of relating, followed by the Sun on the 20th on the summer solstice, that's going to be the trigger point for when you can really get into the flow of having a more pleasurable time. But this week, for now, is a lot about obligations, responsibilities, and it could feel a little bit dull and a little bit frustrating. I hope you have a great week, Capricorn. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it grow.